I just did the YouTube Wendy. So if that's more comfortable for you or anybody, I'm sorry. Again, this is our first time back in 2 years, and I knew there was going to be something that I missed or something that I didn't hit. Yeah. So I guess that was one big thing was YouTube. Hello. That's where I really keep track of everything as well. So yeah.
Nice.
Hey, Keith Anthony, how you doing? So Nathan, please come over to YouTube. We're there now. We're up there. And just for you all to who are watching on Instagram, Instagram will only allow us to use their platform for an hour. So there's that. It won't go for a full 2 hours. The real absolutely chic, I believe. How you doing, baby?
Is that Chike? Chike?
Hey, hey, yes. How
Hey,
you
honey.
doing? Mwah, mwah. How are you? So yeah, so also I always just encourage everybody to check us out on WJBR internet on YouTube. I cannot it seems like I cannot post on YouTube while this thing is going on. So I mean on live on the Instagram. So um if anyone would be so kind as to type on the Instagram the YouTube page, that would be helpful.
Okay.
And now we see you. Hi, Nathan. So, Nathan, I want to get into this politics thing.
Hmm.
Oh, again, Wendy. Yes. Hey, Keith. Thank you. We are glad to be back, honey. And you know what? I want to shout out a couple of people who I know that people had gotten in touch with you, Rez, but there's some people who really gave me a little extra push to get back on, aside from my grandmother and my brother prior to them passing. But also, oh God, so many people on Facebook and YouTube and things like that um,
Nice.
hitting me up just to say, hey, when are y'all coming back on? But also people like the legendary Barbara Tucker, Melissa Morgan, um, Gloria Carter, just family,
Right.
people like that. So I want to thank everybody because it hasn't been easy. Thank you so much, Debbie. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate you. So Nathan James,
Nathan James.
we
Nathan, make it make sense,
make it make
James.
sense. So I don't even know where to start.
Baby Deb.
I guess everybody understands, number one, that unless you're thank you, Ronnie. He knows, just that's why he's my hubby. He says we both look fabulous and we are all happy to see you back on air. Thank you. Yes. Ronnie has also obviously been an inspiration. So let's go there. And Cheryl. Can't leave Cheryl out. Hello. If I get beat up.
It's a messy mess. I agree.
We totally agree. So you could take your time and give us the answers. But I don't know where to start. I think everybody understands that the the election at this point is clearly between Trump and Harris.
Right.
But also, I just want to put it out there that the way Trump looks and has been speaking even more erratical than ever, um, and his age, we also have the possibility of J.D. Vance ending up being the president of the United States if Trump doesn't survive the next 4 years.
You
If,
mean JD? Oh, yeah, okay.
if
Oh,
Trump is elected, I don't even know that people are thinking about this. Even people who support Trump, I don't know that they really are looking at this
I don't even
and,
know if they're looking at it.
and realize that if Trump doesn't survive the next 4 years and they elect him, then JD Vance, the guy who clearly has mommy issues. And yes, that is my opinion. And I wish Pop was here to write that thing. I'll try to type it up. The opinions.
The opinions expressed on this show.
So it's a Trump Harris thing.
But you don't think Trump already figured that out? You don't think he already has his little wax figure and
I
his little
don't
AI
think
memes ready
he
to go in the event he,
I
you
don't
know,
think he cares. I don't think he cares about what happens to this country in after he's gone. After he's gone, he's gone. I don't think he cares, to be honest. He doesn't care about us. He doesn't care about them. He cares about himself. And that's it, as far as I'm concerned. And that is my personal opinion
okay,
based on his behavior. He is not running to be the president of the United States. He is running to keep himself out of prison and and if he becomes the president, he wants to punish the country.
yeah, because it's a big part of him that still feels, although he recently, shout out to Joy Reid, recently admitted that he lost. He used the L word, and it's like when you know, you can't go back to not knowing, right? Anything.
Right,
So
right.
the idea that he's carrying on, I think what you've said thus far has been spot on. Like he only cares about himself. He only cares about having immunity. He's got crazy, crazy cases pending. We even got through. Have we gotten through half of them already? Because honestly, if he was, let's just say, for some ungodly reason that he was elected the president, he'd be spending time in court, more so in court than he would running the country, or in the seat of running the country, because we know Congress essentially runs the country. But he wants to change up things that will be detrimental to society. In my opinion. Now I know we're supposed to be non-biased, in our but we're sharing opinions, right? AI. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's a scary thought. But you know who I follow, and I really enjoy listening to their perspective, because he gives it to you straight, no chaser.
Who's that?
Plies.
Plies?
Plies, Plies, Plies,
Plies.
the rapper.
I don't know.
Oh man, every day he goes in on uh, okay, Dad. He goes in on them. He goes in on men that just are not supporting. And don't get me wrong, right? I don't love everything the Democrats think. I think that
No,
there's,
no, nobody's
you know,
perfect. Nobody's
and I think that people think that you can't have views against your own, eh, that's not it, because I think that we can tighten up some of our backstroke as well. However, when you think of representation, like he's going to be representing the company of
perfect.
United States, corporation of the United States, and he's also the leader of the party, they should be embarrassed. Like, just not just embarrassed, super embarrassed to even have him there. And I never, yes, me either. I never, Nathan, you're absolutely spot on. I never thought that I'd live to see a convicted felon to be a major president, but here we are, And does that ring true for anything's possible in America?
Yep.
For others,
Exactly.
let's be clear, because I
Exactly.
mean that would have been the first thing they tore apart if, let's just say, Obama was running and he jaywalked. That would have been the entire theme of his
Exactly. Well, come on, the tan suit. Let's go.
you know
I want to look at what is documented, what the comments in Instagram, and the absolutely Chike. Let me know if we're pronouncing your name correctly. Um, the Project 2025 agenda is the devil that needs to be feared. I agree 100%, baby.
Mm-hmm.
They can use any figurehead they choose. It's those policies that are the threat. And that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Next go around, they will be looking for a more articulate candidate to front that wall ass agenda. Yes, plies be on it, plain and simple. So
Mm-hmm.
we here giving plies some what is it? Advertisement. I hope Plies is doing the same for us. That's all I'm gonna say right there. So
Well, I
Plies,
tell you, we should try to see if we can get him on the show. I
on
don't know if
the
he's
rest.
doing.
So if he's doing other if he's doing his own podcast, I don't know if he's gonna come and over here, but if he's willing, I would love to get to know him because if great minds appreciate him, then we would love to have him come on here and spit some truth.
Like he's his it's funny, just when you want to call him a homeboy rapper, he'll come out with some thought that just, like, and like folks, and people sign up and see if you're from New York, which we both are, right? And you're long in the tooth a bit, and you hung out in New York, specifically some nightclubs that were very, very popular back in the day. You may have run into Don Juan the Con in there, doing what he does best, and he's had stages of growth and development that have been similar to what you see now. And like, we know him. If you are from New York, we know two people specifically. We know Don Juan the Con, and we know Fuliani, right? We
Fully,
know Fuliani. So when you think about, and the Cuomo boys,
yeah,
okay, those are just New York staples, right?
absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
so at the end of the day, it's like, it's funny to me when you get other folk, and I'm not gonna, go into the names, but when you get other folks that are paid a bag to say things, that are in support of whatever it is, and it hurts at a deeper level when they're women that are doing it,
Oh yeah,
because I mean, you can't go back to not knowing some things that he's said and done about women that he still does.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And so that is a big monster on its own. I mean, like, there are so many things that we could take piece by piece by piece, and you know, just go in. And any one of those little pieces is a reason not to vote for him. I want to say hi to Bzz like a bee and my girl Shari Jenkins and uh Chike. Are we saying your name right? I just hate to screw up somebody's name. But he's letting Plies know that he's being loved on here at Brunch in the Basement.
Nice.
And you have an invite. And yes, sir, you definitely have an invite because the people who are watching us watch you. So let's get it. Let's get it.
Yes,
Thick
yes.
vocals. You're never late. You're always right on time. And we're glad to be back and we're glad to have you back. And everybody, please share this podcast with your people. Everybody share. That's the point. That's how we have traditionally gotten our points across and spread the good news and the bad news. It's word by word. Okay. So I think Black Americans are taking a very hard look and the benign neglect of the last 70 plus of the Democratic Party. Are we growing up politically?
That's a good point.
That's a good question. It's a
That's a
good
good
question.
question.
I think that right now we are forced and cannot just lay in the cut and say this is okay and that's okay. Like, all right, I'll do this, I'll do that. I think that people right now are intentionally making a choice. Um so when we say lesser of two evils, which politics is all about that life. Um, that's something that we've done historically, and it's something that we will continue to do. But I think that we understand the stakes of it now more than ever. I think that people who don't typically vote may vote because more people have been voting over the past couple of elections,
Mm-hmm.
presidential cycles. But here's the thing that I really, really need for everybody to understand. Even more important, well, not this year. This year, this presidential election is the most important thing. But going forward, those sidebar House of Representatives and Senate races, your local school boards, and all of that stuff is even as important, if not more important, because that's why there are certain books that are not being read. They're doing that book burning because of the school boards, the people that are being elected there, the um row in certain states, abortion. It's the Senate, it's the House of Representative. We got to get that. And also, when you look at your whoever the president is, except going forward, if it's Trump, he will be able to do any goddamn thing he wants to do as per the Supreme Court, and which is a whole other thing we could battle and talk about. But the House of Representatives to put forth certain bills, which is the issue with immigration. The bill was set forth, but Trump told the House of Representatives, his people who have the majority, not to put it forth so that he would have something to complain about. Otherwise, he would have nothing to complain about. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He thinks that if we had fixed the border problem or whatever, then he would have been elected more easily. But so here's my thing with the immigration issue. I don't care how you get here, it's what you do once you're here. That's my thing. Once you get here, are you going to be a productive member of society? Well, then welcome. Period. That's me. But
I,
that's
I don't understand like and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I'm pausing, choosing my words carefully. Um, I want to read Nathan's statement though because it's important because it reflects. There we go. Thank you. The last 70 years of the Democrats ended Jim Crow, created Head Start, Great Society, enacted affirmative action, codified equality, hate crimes legislation. Them SCOTUS judges gave us Roe v. Wade. Correct. And then they turned around and took back Roe v. Wade. So okay, and
Obergefell.
thank you. Obergefell advanced more initiative beneficial to people of color than the GOP. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yep. So let's get back a little bit to Instagram. Terez, you are taking me back. Old New York City days. Those guys have been villains for a long as time. And it's so true. It's so
It's
true.
very true. It's very true. And I'm still looking for what he did with his modeling agency when he was elected president because he had a lot of models in his agency that, and the pageants that they ran. But I'm going to tell you something. What's in the dark comes out. And I don't care what or how long. I don't care. You could be someone that is like on the eve of your obituary. It's coming out. What's in the dark will come to the light. And that has not ever come up in any conversation about that particular agency that he ran. But I know they shut that bitch down when
they did.
Him and Ep stink. So, it's just some things as a New Yorker. We all know Don Juan the Con. He ain't new to us. So when I see women and other folks, and yes, it is all about the policies. Yes, I agree with you. All about the policies, not the skin color, gender, doesn't matter. All about the policies, and all about, and all about you can feel somebody's fiber when they're in your presence, right? Now,
Absolutely.
because I don't love everything about Harris, but you know what? If you said to me, I want to go to the grocery store, who would you like to pick out your stuff? If you said to me, I have to go to this meeting, who would you like to represent you? It would be her all day. It would be her all day. And then coupled with the fact that she just happens to have, you know, the fiber that I gravitate to, you know, now, again, like they keep bringing up her role as the vice president. Why didn't she do that? Like, is he really talking you into that ham sandwich? Because at the end of the day, we know she's the VP, and then he says things, that are very bizarre to me. Like, she's not talking to the press, and then they run certain outlets run with that. I'm like, she still is the sitting VP of the United States. I'm sure she's got stuff to do on top of, what she's doing for the people of the United States. So you're running and you still have your daily operations that you must do. So
Absolutely. So what did, I don't know. Let's see. The guy that couldn't spell potato. What was his name? What did who I can't think of any vice president except for Cheney, who the only thing I can remember he did when he was vice president, he probably was really running shit because Bush was a little slow. George, he was a little slow. In my opinion. I think Cheney was doing a lot more. But what I really remember is that he shot somebody hunting in a hunting accident. But what vice president, while they were vice president, did something that, and what did we demand of the vice president? They got that vice president got to show me more. Yes, Dan Quayle. Thank you so much, Ronnie. Yes, it was Dan Quayle. What did he do? What, he was a vice president. He went to school to show everybody he didn't know how to spell potato. Okay, so Chike said, "Yes, I am pronouncing his name right. Thank you very much. That's important to me. I want to, be right and salute you the way you deserve to be saluted. Welcome back. Thank you, Danny, and author Danny. You got to check her out. She has 2 books out. So look her up. She's on Instagram. She has 2 books. Y'all should check them out. Check her out. We support our own, right?
Dope.
Chike says you have to vote down ballot. If we really want laws and change, the levers of change are in the lower offices. Absolutely.
Yes.
The vanilla folk are the ones that really fear immigration. The USA is turning brown, black quick. They're fearful of these elections. And there are some.
The tanning of America.
There are some, but I think even more than just the complected issue is the power issue. The people who are in power know that they will lose their power. One of the things, check this out. One of the things that oh God, the old sleepy turtle guy.
Bernie?
No, not Bernie. Bernie's all right. The McConnell. Yes, Mitch McConnell is the leader of the minority in the Senate. And what he said is if the Democrats get majority keep the majority in the Senate and get a majority in the House of Representatives, then we're going to end up making Puerto Rico and DC states. And then the Republicans will never win because DC will
out the city, baby,
and Puerto Rico. And let me just say something to my Boricua brothers and sisters. How can any one of you, after he threw paper towels, even consider? How could you get past that? No apology, no nothing. How could you get past that?
He thought that shit was cute.
Somebody please let me know in the comments, call in, let me know. Maybe I'm crazy for taking that, because I
And
took
he didn't feel away. Y'all sitting over there underwater,
yeah, I took
no
that some
electricity for
kind of way.
months.
That piss, I'm still pissed about that.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, my grandfather was from Dominican Republic, not from Puerto Rico, but still. And even if, and guess what? I never even met that grandfather. He was dead long before I was born. But I'm just saying, as far as I'm concerned, that was disrespectful to everybody.
Listen, we boxing up supplies to send to our brethren in Puerto Rico. You know, we've had festivals in Puerto Rico. The Puerto Ricans are amazing. You know,
Yes,
and
yes.
he comes over there to see the damage and throws paper towels. Like, if y'all don't remember that,
Exactly. Let me just say I grew up in the Bronx, and it was black people and Puerto Ricans. That's who it was. That's it. So, and they were my brothers and sisters. That's it. Period.
period,
Period.
period.
And I was pissed. I was pissed, and I'm still, obviously, I have an issue with this. I'm still mad. I thought I had released my, relaxed, related, and released, but I'm still pissed about that, and so many other things. Like I said, you could take each little thing or big thing that he did, and it makes him just forget about the fact that he has the 34 separate convictions. And let's break that down for a second. 34 convictions, right? Forget about, oh, let's add, not forget about. We can't forget shit. It's too important. Let's add five con- five indictments, five separate indictments by five separate grand juries.
Separate keyword.
It's not the same people saying, "Yep, he's guilty. Yep, he's guilty. Yep, he's guilty. Yep, indict him, indict him, indict him." No, it's it's five separate grand juries on different things that he's done. Five separate that he was alleged to have done when the grand jury,
Yes, and plus one more
and
pending in
there's
Arizona.
one more pending. And they looked at the evidence and they said, yes, there's enough to indict him. And he was indicted. He was indicted. They indicted me. Yes, they indicted him, right? And then they've done everything to stall these juries, these various and things that, and for black people, black men and women, the shenanigans, the threats towards the court, the having to be sanctioned, or what's the word, Nathan or Rez, when you have to shut up when they tell you, if you say another word, we're gonna throw you in jail.
Censored. Oh,
Sense,
oh,
but you know what I mean.
contempt.
Yeah, they he would have been, if he was brown, he would have been in jail. As a matter of fact, white people, if it was you, gag order, thank you. Anybody else would have been thrown in jail.
Hmm, that's a good question. Here's a question. Here we
Here's a
go.
question: why do you think more and more black men are leaning right these days?
I
Let me
have. Can I give my opinion on it?
Yeah, go ahead.
You're not going to like it.
Go ahead.
I think that the idea that it is a woman um, turns people off. Period. I think, and quite frankly, and it's kind of telling, you know. And when I was growing up, I must have been about 6. I went to pick out buttons, you know, that you can stick on, because I had a denim jacket. I had to stick my little buttons on it already, and you know, like patches and things like that were out back then. And one of the patches that I got it said, "Respect and protect the black woman," right?
Mm.
And my mother thought that was very heavy. but she let me have it, and I sewed it on my denim and kept it moving, right? And not knowing that that's something that I often keep in my rear view, because I think that, demonstratively, and this is for me personally, just so you know, I don't believe in voting for someone because they're black or because they're a woman, because that's not my thing. Because if she were an asshole, it'd be she's an asshole, but she's not, she's not, she's far from it. And the idea sometimes when I listen to and answering your question, are leaning right. I don't think it's about them leaning right. I think in this particular situation, particularly for the men who have not voted or even paid attention to politics, to pop out on them and talking about, well, I'm not going to vote for her because of, it's because it's a her. It's because it's a her. And and just let's not get it twisted. A lot of men have really deep seated issues. I'm gonna say that differently. There are a lot of men that have a lot of deep seated issues with women that they have not addressed,
Hmm.
with mommy that they have not addressed. And they walk and roll through society under the guise of manhood, creating chaos. And they've never been called to the mat. And when they think of, what about, and they've got us believing that all these countries are going to come after us and she's not going to, it's not a fight. You know what I mean? We're not in a schoolyard brawl. She don't have to roll in the grass with Putin or any of the rest of them. You know what I mean? Like, please, she doesn't have to do that. Trump is not big and bad. This is what he's going to do. Come on, they're laughing. I was on vacation when he was in office, and I got in an elevator, and it was in a foreign country and Latin country. And when I got in the elevator and the elevator doors closed, he asked the gentleman that walked in, asked where we were from. He worked for the hotel. So when I told him, he says USA, Donald Trump, and he just giggled. And we all looked at him and said, we know. We know. There's nothing else. He just giggled to himself. He's like, shh, and just shook his head. So even on down to from the boardroom to the janitors are giggling. Not to mention some of the most powerful Republicans that we've had. Like, I'm not gonna say all Republicans are bad. I don't think of it that way. It's not black or white, um, unless he gets elected. It will be black or white, quite frankly. But because of a lot of things. But when I look at some of the heavy hitters like Liz Cheney and the rest of them, jumping parties and saying, you know what, we've lost our way. Like he cannot be, he's not my leader. Like that I cannot rally behind him. What are you going to do when you realize what it really is? And I did, and I was offended personally to find out that you can't even do certain things, and how many people have they held back from just simply making a wage, a living, just making a simple living because they have a felony or a conviction of sorts. But you can run for the highest seat in the country with
If
30.
you are him,
You know what I
if
mean?
you are
Like,
him.
that to me is like, you can't get a job with the biggest job we got in this country. You can run for with all of them. So the miss what they call it? What would Lauryn Hill call it? The What's the album? The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, or
Yeah, that was it.
it's crazy because it's like, wait a minute, like he can't run. We've been told for many years. There are states like New York, for example, that have programs that incentivize and tell you that you cannot, you can't discriminate against people with felonies or people that have been convicted. You can't do it. You know, they're giving second chance programs. But we got somebody that,
Kamala did a really big second chance program in California when she was the AG, and it
yeah,
reduced recidivism like crazy, which is one of the reasons why DL Hughley gave that public apology to her.
yeah, he had to, and I'm grateful that he did.
Because a lot of
Because
people were hating on her. so much. And to go back to the question,
Mhm.
he was one that was hating on her without knowing anything about her. These guys are hating on her simply because of her being a black woman, being a former DA, and what they perceive to be the truth about her locking up black men. And
Come on.
she's got a white husband. What does that mean? What does that mean to the black men? How many of y'all love these basketball players all got a white wife? That mean I'm supposed to not like them? Are you kidding me? I love football. Most of them got white wives. I don't care about that. Why do we care so much in this country about who people love? Somebody
Mm.
sent me, and they know me, or they have known me since childhood, but sent me an inbox video of a trans man and a young lady, both of whom said that they had um previous abortions for whatever reason, and they want to be able to live their lives the way they want to live it, and that's why they are voting for Kamala Harris. And the comments were like, oh, these people are crazy, and oh, they're this and they're that. And I'm like, people people thought it was crazy when black women started wearing blonde wigs, and mind
Once
your
upon a
freaking
time, it was illegal to even have a interracial relationship.
yeah, like people, like, stop, just stop. You know, um, Nathan, before I dig into your comment, which I'm sure is going to be a little deep, I just want to run back to Instagram a little bit. Um, Chike says yes, Terez, and by the way, he identifies as Terez's hubby, like Ron
As he should. As
identifies
he should.
as my hubby. Okay. Um, he also says he's predicting that after the debate, VP Harris will coup de grace the orange man by using the press. And yes, Therese, there's still a super great amount of misogyny in this country. And let's keep it 100. A lot of
Mhm.
black men still seek approval from white men, their power and lifestyles. How you doing,
Ooh, the power. Who said that? Their power and lifestyles.
Chike,
Okay.
right? Um,
Okay.
Judy,
Incidentally, Shike has an amazing show called Conversations with Shike. If you get an opportunity to check that out, he's a very good interviewer. He's patient and he has this very sultry voice,
very
for a lot of
sultry.
reasons. But
You know,
he really goes in. And if you guys get an opportunity to check that out, you should
I
follow
I
him.
would I would love to use my sultry voice,
Hmm.
but you won't let me
Depending on the subject matter.
because I can be a little silky smooth. I
Silky
can
smooth.
I can let it rip like this and we can just talk. But no, she gets me all excited so that I'm talking like this. Gets me talking these politics things. But I want to give a shout out to Judy of Purple Diamonds. How you doing, sweetheart? She says, yes, absolutely awful that he could run Project 2025 horror laws to be put in place against black people, against women, against
Mhm.
poor men, against people in unions, against people who work for the government, against people who depend on government services,
Mhm.
okay, that you have
Mhm.
paid your entire life in taxes for,
Mhm.
okay?
Mhm.
Judy says she is with Kamala Harris, period. And so am I.
Period.
And I am going to check you out, Chike, and
You
your silky
should.
voice. Do you have anybody that gets you all excited so that you can't use your silky voice? Or I try to be, but, you know, they won't let me. And yes, a dictatorship. When I see words like that, I can't be silky.
He needs people. He's a narcissist, so he needs people to listen to him. That's what that is about. And if they don't listen, they should be punished. That's what that's about. Like that's one of the reasons why he laps up to our Russian uh, little friendy. Um, but neither one of them know what they're doing with their countries. Quite frankly, he didn't know what he was doing with it when he had it, and neither does Putin, and he wants to be. And as long as they don't have the 4 years over there, they got as long as until he's voted out.
And he can't be. And it's the same, very same thing that Trump wants to do. How you
Mhm.
doing, Tiffany D. Coates? Yes, it's been a minute. We're glad you're back in it. So glad to see you. Yeah,
Nice
so
picture.
yes, that's beautiful, right? So what Trump is saying is, oh, excuse me. Almost choked on that one
Uh-oh.
because it's a big stupid comment. Once you vote this time, evangelicals, you won't have to vote again.
No, no, ma'am. I think there should be term. I hope that Kamala can also put in term limits for the Supreme Court, because we need to shake some of that old energy, stagnant energy off that as well.
Oh, absolutely. And I think
Lifetime appointments, and you just sit there and rot and stink off the bench. That just does not make sense.
now I'm not 100% sure of how this works Nathan, if you're still there, maybe you can help me. Um what will it take to install more Supreme Court justices? I think it has to, the Congress has to be involved, and if that's the case, there's more reason for the down ballot votes. We need people, we need Congress to agree, or is this something that a president can do with a fell swoop of her hand? When Kamala was AG in California, she was a huge advocate of second chance and more support for Black men who enter the criminal justice system. That's absolutely the truth.
Hmm.
Here's a question. Do y'all think Project 2025 is already happening? Look at what DeSantis is doing in Florida. Absolutely. Yes, it is the testing ground.
Hmm. Yep. Yep.
It is
Parts of it. Sure.
absolutely, and yes, he is one of those proponents of Project 2025. He's another,
Hmm.
and he's weird. And you know what? Can I give a shout out to Tim Walls? I really, really dig me. I want to go back to junior high school and I want Tim Walls to be my teacher.
He's DeSantis is not only weird, he's some other things as well that they know and protecting, because nobody fronts that way unless there's another underlining. I'm not even gonna
Ish-
say issue.
Well,
It's
he
an
wears high
underlining
heels. And
factor.
did you see the JD Vance picture of him in drag in college? I mean, just come out, boys. Stop it. Just stop.
Well, you know something? I got an interesting thought. I've had interesting thoughts about that. And this is the reason why we need to really live in the land of the free. And I'm going to speak about freedom because there's so many areas that you can go into, but I'm going to talk about specifically freedom as it relates to sexuality. We got to grow that up, because what's happening, and I'm speaking from my personal experience and experience that I go, and people say, "Oh, Terez, guess what? Such and such came out." I'm like, yeah. If y'all had just let him come out, he wouldn't be backdooring and having all these women in situations where you're doing so many crazy stunts just to prove that you're not that. You wouldn't be making all these public statements against a group of folks that you are essentially part of, you know? And it gets ridiculous after a while. He wouldn't be impregnating half the village if we would just make it comfortable for I don't want to use the term cis, but for a masculine presenting male. When I say masculine, I mean, an alpha male to come out of the closet. But instead, worried about, and God forbid you have any money attached, or you have any public notoriety attached to you. You're not comfortable coming out because it affects your livelihood. It does.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prove by flowering and sowing my royal oats all over the place, you know, until I feel comfortable doing that. And we need to allow people to be people and stop being so damn judgmental, at the end of the day.
Look, it's like Tim Walls says, mind your own goddamn business. I don't know if he said goddamn, but goddamn. Oh, Tiffany said, like Hakeem Jeffrey said, Trump is like a bad boyfriend that keeps circling the block.
Yeah, spinning the
And
block.
yeah, spinning the block. And we don't want you. We don't want you. We did that already. And it's true. To add judges to the SCOTUS, Congress must pass new legislation. The only way this is going to happen is if we get I don't know, do we need a supermajority in the House, or
Hmm.
do can it just be like, can it pass by one vote? Um
Mm-mm.
because if that's the case, that's something that's doable, man. Let's blue wave this sucker, and you're very welcome for the compliments. That is a beautiful picture. So
Yes.
there are 13 federal court circuits. There should be 13 SCOTUS judges, one for each circuit. Why not?
Right.
Why not? I agree, Nathan. And maybe. Well, I really believe at this point, because of how this Supreme Court did what they did, I think that Kamala, being the AG that she is at heart, and I was really, it's so funny when she dropped out of the race initially before she was VP. I was hoping that whoever became the president would put her as the AG, because as a senator, she was on them boys like crazy. I was on Team Kamala from day one. I think you remember that, Rez.
Yes.
I was on Team Kamala from back then. And let me tell you another thing. God bless Biden. He did the best he could with the Congress that he had, and he did most of what he promised to do. Can't fault him for that, but he was too busy trying to be a peacemaker, and got this other nice old man to be the AG, who did not go hard after Trump from day one, because I believe that if he would have put a black woman there instead of in the Supreme Court, or in addition to the one he put in the Supreme Court, if it would have been a black woman as the Supreme Court, I mean, as the AG, the Attorney General for the United States of America, all of these trials and stuff would have been done 2 years ago, and this would be a different, we'd be talking about a different thing today.
AG as an attorney general.
Attorney General.
Yeah, not aggressive female.
That- I like that though, Tiffany.
I'm not asking you, Tiffany, for your sexuality, but I see one of your points there. It's not us having a problem with I think she was responding to something that I said. It's not us having a problem with them, it's them having a problem with coming out because they're perpetrating a fraud. There are some that are, but I do happen to know that it is not an easy thing to come out. The church hasn't made it so. There's quite a few entities that haven't made it so, and perhaps you're not one of those people, which I'm happy to hear about. But it is not easy being a black male in society, and I'm not one, and I know that, and black gay male, definitely not, you know, um, it just isn't for so many reasons.
Yeah. And thank you for that, Nathan. A simple majority in the House, and we may need 67 votes in the Senate. I don't know if, because I'm sure there are Republican senators who will not speak up now, but who don't want, if Kamala becomes the president, they don't want her to not to they don't want her to be immune from prosecution, like she could do anything and be above the law.
Right.
So they may also go along with this changing of the SCOTUS, the limit time, term limitations, etc. They may, if she's the president. Let me just, before I continue, I'm jumping back and forth, guys, from Instagram to YouTube. So Chike, Conversations with Chike Evans is his podcast. Please check him out.
Yes.
Anybody who supports us, I 100% want to support. His own niece, who is a clinical psychologist, yes, Mary Trump, told us all we need to know about the Orange Man. Her book is awesome, by the way.
Oh.
Absolutely. And his nephew talks about how he has a special needs son, and how Trump basically said, "Why don't you just let him die and come to Florida and live with us?" Terrible. So if you have a special needs relative, or if you care about people with special needs, I mean, forget about the fact that before he was ever president, he was making fun of people with special needs. Who
You
does that? Like a 5-year old.
know what I'm concerned about too, Jay? And I don't know how many of you guys are also concerned with. Like, I'm looking forward to the debate, but we need a moderator worth a damn that will establish clear boundaries. Like, we'll say, answer the question, and you can embellish whatever you want to after it, but answer the question, because he does not. He does not. He deflects and projects all over the place. And then when he doesn't, you're very net, and then he goes for the juggler. You're a very nasty person. That. Like, I don't really want to hear that the whole way through. So
Yeah, well, he can say that if he wants, but Kamala's gonna shut that down. I think if the moderators don't, I think she got something for him. I think. I hope so.
yeah,
Because he doesn't have anything intelligent to say, so it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But they're gonna mute the mics, so he can't ramble on about things, and she's gonna fact check him. She's a prosecutor. So
he don't want no parts of her on a straight conversation. I just think he's afraid, and again, he's running to stay out of jail, because
right,
he doesn't have a choice, kind of, sorta. You know what I mean? It's either you go to jail, because you can't put a seated president in jail.
right.
But I don't know if that needs to be, like, if you're a president and you're committing crimes or influencing riots.
Yeah, and look, she was so good that in her debate against Pence, that a fly had to sit on Mike Pence's head just to listen, because the fly didn't want to leave, because the fly was like, "Damn." What she said?
Ooh.
Ooh, she said she's speaking. She said she's speaking. The fly would not leave Mike Pence's head. Judy of Purple Diamond says police under 2025 will be able to govern without laws. God help us. That every black person, every brown person on this planet should be concerned about that.
What? No, that should go without saying. Like, you're gonna be in one space where you're talking about Kamala, but you want that to happen, because he wants to give total control, because that's the only way that he's gonna get it on the streets, is if he does fear mongering, and this is what he does. Look at Nathan's moderator picks.
Let's
Nice.
look. Just put Joy Reid would just keep his mic off the whole time, and Rachel Maddow is like a professor. She would definitely do the fact check. And Roland Martin don't have no time for that. I love him. Tamron Hall, not for nothing, but she's nice. She she gets the silky voice. Yeah. And Lester Holt. Yeah. Good picks. I agree with you.
I would even say Plies. Throw him in there just for comfort, just for the voice of the peoples, the homeboy voice of the peoples.
Let's see. What is this? Are you all familiar with the situation in Dalton, Illinois, with the mayor, Tiffany Haynard, with her corruption? She is a Democrat, and the governor will not step in here. I'm not
Mm.
familiar with it, but let me just say this. I don't care whether you're a D or an R. If you're corrupt, if you're hurting the people, bye-bye.
Bye bye. Yeah.
Okay? If you're a danger to your citizens and you're getting paid and you were elected, like people stepped up and elected, and you are not serving the people, goodbye. I don't know the situation. I'll look into it or whatever.
Thank
But
you for that.
thank you for putting us giving us that. But if she is corrupt, and I'm not saying she is or not, because I know absolutely nothing about it. But I don't care if it's a Democrat or Republican.
Yeah, no.
That doesn't matter to me. If you're corrupt, bye. It's not us having a problem with them. Okay, we jumped down to that already.
Got that one too.
Yep, we got that one. Okay, glad you're laughing because AI says we are a hilarious group. Just imagine what Walter Cronkite would have done with Trump. You know, every time I think of Walter Cronkite, I think of him having to tell the nation about JFK's murder.
Hmm.
And I see him taking off his glasses to tell it.
Can
I
you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you. I mean, you're like,
Yeah, frozen a little bit.
yeah, you're a little frozen.
Okay.
Did you say something?
No, no. I was just wondering if I could, if the audio was still there. As long as the audio's still there, it's good. I'm
Yeah,
just,
the audio's there, but you look like this.
I know.
And it still looks good. There you go with a smile. Just free. You can freeze that. You can freeze the smile. You look good. You just chilling. But yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't remember what I was saying, but
Walter Cronkite.
yeah, I think that this whole Trump thing, I think he would just take his glasses off forever because he don't want to see none of that. He
Mm.
would just take his glasses off. Okay. She's a prosecutor, but she ain't no black woman. Brooklyn with the snapping so with the snapping. Brooklyn with the snapping. So I hope she do her diligence. Okay. So let me just say that every black woman is not from Brooklyn with the snapping.
They're not? Fuck.
No, no, unfortunately. And or fortunately, um, you know, black in this country is so diverse. Black in the world, there is a complete diaspora of black that goes from dark chocolate to light bright to damn near white. She has lived the black woman experience, and the reason why I'm saying that is, you know, she grew up in Oakland. She worked at Mickey D's. She went to a HBCU. She's been ostracized for the color of her skin. She's been talked about for the color of her skin. And what they're saying about her is the same thing they say about us. Um oh, that was a joke. And Terez is gone. Yeah, she's black. I mean, she is half Indian, which is wonderful. And quite frankly, to be honest, I wouldn't care if she was white, purple, green. And before she was the nominee, and I would have voted for the yellow M&M before voting for Trump. So Teslin Figaro as a moderator. I don't know who that is. Olivia Pope's father from Scandal. Okay. And Nathan says, just imagine what Walter Con. Oh yeah, you said that. We already discussed that. Yes, the misinformation is just ridiculous. It's like it's scripted. And I don't know what happened to Terez. I'm sure she will come back. Let's see. What else we got? What else we got? Peace and blessings, Sammy. Enjoy your Saturday as well. I'm gonna run back over to Insta for a second. JD Vance, DeSantis, and all the other weird ones remind me of that show V about the aliens, reminds me of all of them. I hear that. And yes, they do. He's going to be very clever in his attack. I don't think he's going to be clever, but I think he's going to try to get under her skin, but I think she's going to be more skillful at getting under his, because all she has to do is mention his convictions and yeah, yeah, and yes, the fly, and we know where flies like to land. Texas disqualified 1 million voters 2 weeks ago and are planning to disqualify more. Yes, they are very scared, very scared. And yes, that's the other thing that I wanted to say. I wanted to remind everybody to please, 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 let me put a little background music. Yeah, little background music, just because I feel a little less alone. And here she comes back. All right, I put the background music because I was feeling lonely.
I don't know what happened. It froze and then just
And I can hear a little bit of a feedback.
got you.
Yeah, so yes, Kamala is smart and Trump is not. And what was that last comment I was about to? Oh yes, the voter suppression. That is a big thing we got to deal with. We got to, everybody has to verify that they are registered in their
Right.
state. Do that today. If you are within the sound of my voice, especially if you're in a red or purple state or one of those swing states. Now North Carolina is in play. That's amazing. If you are in Arizona, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, especially
Everywhere.
Texas, everywhere. If I'm forgetting a state, you can't vote if you're not registered.
Yeah.
So
They're purging a lot of our registrations. So just make sure that
Exactly.
you're still registered. Like,
And
don't take for granted that you can just walk to the vote. You make sure that you're registered. Check, verify that before you go.
Right, because what they will also do is try to arrest you for voting and not being registered. These people
Gotcha.
are treacherous. Okay?
Hmm.
So make sure you are registered to vote. Hope that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah.
Make sure you are registered to vote in your state. Tiffany, what state do you live in, darling? Our collective future depends on this, no
Yeah.
doubt. Absolutely.
Check and make sure. Just do not assume that you can stroll on down and do your civic duty. Brooklyn, yay! Go.
Brooklyn in the house. You should be safe, Brooklyn. You should
Brooklyn.
be.
But check anyway.
But
You
check
don't never, you
anyway.
never know. It's a Democratic state. They can, knock it out. Like, just listen. Everybody, just make sure that you're still registered and they didn't purge you out of the good old system.
Exactly.
In these here states, I don't even know if we can call ourselves united anymore until we get somebody that's going to help us stay united.
Exactly.
That's just
Do you
my-
remember, Rez, we did a little video thing where we were trying to remind everybody, me, you, Mo, and some other people.
Rita, yeah.
Yeah, we was trying to get people to
Vote.
register.
Yeah.
And that was, yeah, in PA it's very important
Yeah.
because that's the biggest swing state with the most electoral college votes. And can I say that it's time for us to get ready to get rid of the electoral college? Come on, one person, one vote already. And can we discuss Clarence Thomas, aka Uncle? I don't want to talk about him. I don't want it.
He sparked my nerves way back to Anita Hill.
Yeah, he's, he should be arrested actually, but impeached is something that he could do. And with more of, more people on the House of Representatives, more people in the Senate, we can make a difference. What gets me is when my neighbors tell me they're not voting. I'm like, you're handing it right to them by not voting.
You're so right.
I don't understand. People think it doesn't affect them personally. And
Please.
that's why we have to get Project 2025, what's in there, out there. True Soul Power. I don't think you could see my comments on Facebook, so I jumped over here. Absolutely. If you are on Facebook and if you are commenting on my Facebook page, I cannot see you. I cannot see your comments, and that's why I'm not reading them or posting them.
Come on
Please,
down to the YouTube.
yeah, come on over to YouTube, and I will put your comments up on the screen just like I have it for True Soul Power. And we all
Hey,
know
True
that's
Soul
the
Power.
songbird. That is the songbird.
Yes. Yes.
Hope you had a good class, and I do care.
You know, I am too. I'm for term limits, Tiffany. I am too. Age restrictions. I think that there needs to be just like a driver's license. I think that's pretty fair. You know, just to make sure that you're still, cognitively functioning and you're still with it. Because it's funny because like I had a great aunt that lived to be 126 years old. Um, and it's a long story about the age piece, because she was born in the house, and they kept records in the Bible back then. And by the time the census came around, she was already a teenager, and they started her at 1. But that's the short of it. But she had all her faculties up until she passed. And that was amazing. And she had her opinions up until she passed. She died of straight causes, natural causes rather. She was one of the only, I don't know anymore to date, but if there are somebody correct me. She was one of the only persons prescribed old granddad shots from her doctor 3 times a day for her, because she was cold all the time. It wasn't nothing wrong with her iron. She just, he prescribed her 3 shots of old granddad whiskey every day until she passed, and she was a happy camper. That's all she wanted. But she could have had her opinions on this country. She could have run it, so perhaps there needs to be some other kind of cognitive or some other test as you age.
Absolutely. And I will say that my grandmother lived to be 102 years old and never missed a beat. She was smart. She was on top of it. And, she was wise. She made decisions. She was smart.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. She knew what was going on, and she called Trump the N-word all the time. She said the dumbest N-word I could. She said, now that's the N-word. I'm like, okay.
I like that too. I like that too. Advisors, I love that. When you talk about some of these centenarians, absolutely, they've lived through so much in this country. They can speak to what it was and what it wasn't. And I know that we have this image thing, and folks would like to think that we are the greatest country in the world. We may have a lot of resources here, but we've got a lot to do for our fundamentals too, and those are our children and our seniors. Everybody in between is in the what I call the proverbial rat race. But the way our country treats its seniors and its children is very telling on who we are as a society.
Absolutely.
I believe.
As far as Clarence Thomas is concerned, Chike says he just wants to obliterate his face.
He needs to go. He just needs to go.
I think and his wife has done some illegal things, and I think she should be held accountable. There are a lot of members of the House of Representatives that I believe, I don't have any proof, it's just my opinion, but I believe that they should all be held accountable for anything that they have done criminally or illegally.
Right.
And yes, grandma was a force of nature right up to the end. Yeah.
Grandma's with us everywhere now. She's
Yeah, y'all making me miss my grandma.
boundaryless now. That's like amazing.
Yeah, let me just throw up an old picture of grandma right quick, just so y'all could know. This is an old picture from when grandma was young.
Ow.
That's my grandma.
Walkie talkie.
That's it. We miss you, grandma.
Shout out to grandma. Soar queen.
Yep. You will always be my queen.
We've lost quite a few people. I've had some personal hits as well. But outside of the personal, we lost Sergio Mendes yesterday.
What? I did not know that.
Yeah, we lost Sergio Mendes. We lost Batman Scoop. We lost Mr. C. We lost Big Homie Quan.
Oh yeah.
Rich Quan, yeah. Like it just quite a few folks.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
Chike says we need a panel of Oracle like on the Matrix. I'm feeling you on that.
You know what? Like they have the civilian complaint review board in every state. You can, not every state. And every state doesn't have it. But that would be kind of dope to have an advisory board, of elders. And you can't get on the advisory board unless you've either done some things or been through some things, and age is a factor because we want wise, right? And just have them, run it past them, to see what they think.
Yep. Sherry says she's glad she listened in today. I'm glad you did too, sis. I'm glad you listened in.
Who's that, Sherry?
Sherry Jenkins.
Hey, Sherry.
I'm so glad I joined today. I'm so glad you did too. And you're right, GK, my grandma was fire. I mean, she was an Aries. She's all about that fire.
The cutest thing moving.
Sexy grandma.
Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of fire, anybody notice that Shaka Khan is doing a lot of pop-up videos these days? I just wanted to say, we can't do a show and not mention Shaka Khan.
We sure can.
It's just not legal, right? That's not like got to mention Shaka Khan.
Shout out to Shaka Khan.
Shout out to Shaka Khan.
And there are a lot of artists that are doing some amazing things, like just amazing. Got new music out and and moving through and trying to create. Shout out to Avery Sunshine. Shout out to Coffee Brown in the building. In fact, they have a listening party going on today. We're gonna get them on the show.
Yes,
they revamped the group a bit, and V is still there, and they have Ryan now, and they're out there doing their thing. They have a listening party for their new release tonight. As a matter of fact, if you guys are in the New York, New Jersey area, and you want to get down to Lit 21 tonight, they're gonna be down there performing their new stuff, which is amazing. I've heard it. Bomb. We got endless amounts of music and people producing music, and I'm just thinking from family first. DJ Beloved is killing the remix right now, and he's bringing people together, and that's what music does. First of all, it's timeless.
Music is timeless. That's
timeless. You can remember exactly where you were when, and the feeling of nostalgia whenever, it doesn't have to always be positive, but it is the great equalizer, right? So, folks are creating things. It feels almost pandemic-ish, how we had a lot of, new stuff going on that people are having fun with and bringing, uniting people together, A lot of festivals, a lot of things going on. And I think weather-wise, they have predicted that we're going to be a little warmer longer, a little more seasonal longer. Tiffany is hilarious. And we, and we should be outside, and if you can be outside, be outside. Be outside,
Absolutely.
Onifa dropped a single, which is doing very well here and abroad, which is wonderful. got all kinds of reach. She did a remix for the children, and Matt Knight and Beloved did a remix, and you had another DJ from Brazil that did a remix, and it's crazy what they're doing right now.
Yeah. Well,
you got to get Avery Sunshine back on the show too.
Monifa, come on. She opened her mouth, and you want to remix it. She's just that, yeah. She just got that voice, Yeah. It makes sense. Got to remix her.
Got to remix.
Today? Today is the 8th, right? 7th?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what today is. Yep. I just wanted to stay true to one of the things I always love to do, which is have a Black History moment, if that's okay. And I think here's a good one. Civil rights leader Reverend Jesse L. Jackson announced on September 7th, 1987, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, that he would be a candidate for the Democratic presidential nomination in 1988. So today is the anniversary of when he made that announcement. So I think that's relevant to what's going on today. I just saw Al Green online. He looks like he's eating good every Sunday after church. I've seen him. I've seen some video of him too, honey. Yes. And shout out to Mo. Absolutely. What are you reading or staring at?
I'm getting blown up. In our, we have a family chat.
Aha.
And we post, what we're doing, what's going on, and we're in the process of putting together a family calendar because we have so many folks doing things, and we kind of want to, sometimes we got to split up and go, and just to be able to do support. It's like it's a quintessential community, and it's artist heavy. It's whatever, from vacations to conversations to good morning, how you feeling, we're gonna kick your ass kind of conversations, which I love and I need, right? And do you know what I forgot to do?
What's that?
I forgot to put the link in the chat that we were coming back. I was posting it and trying to make sure I hit on my post points and forgot. And DJ Beloved, my Libra brother, called me out on it because I just announced Coffee Brown because Vernell is actually in the chat, and she was reminding everybody about what time they go on tonight, and and if you're going to be in the building, you want to see Coffee Brown perform. They're performing at 7:30 tonight at Lit 21 in New Jersey. It's on Route 21. Big place, and it's going to be a good time. I think Vinny from Naughty by Nature is also spinning and performing, but the new music sounds good. But I just got called out, so. Well, we're gonna, what it is it serves as an opportunity to get, and I'm getting hammered for that. I see. I just gonna look away.
Hammer her. It's hammer time.
Yeah, but it's a good time. Folks are feeling healthy, and folks are and folks have opinions, strong ones, and and if nothing else, unite some people together that it's important right now for your physical, cognitive, mental health to really surround yourself with people that want to see you win, and want to see you healthy and accountable.
Yeah,
that's it. Anybody that you got a question, anybody that you have to second guess, anybody that don't mean well, they got to go. This is not the season. And God's gonna shake them anyway. Don't get me on my soapbox. God's gonna shake them anyway. But if you have anybody that you have to question in your life, around your children, you got to go.
So Chike says, "Oops, Terez, did I just trigger your chatting? Laughing out loud."
Baby, hubby, baby.
But you know what's interesting? The Instagram Live is still going, and I was told that it would only go for an hour. So
they extended it a bit, I think.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, chastising. Yeah, there you go. Maybe you did, but good. I hope everybody clicks the bell on the YouTube. Follow us on everything. Share everything. Subscribe to everything. Let's keep it going. I'm so glad that so many people decided to join us and rejoin us. Look, me and Rez could talk all the time together, but it's really about talking to y'all and talking with y'all.
Look, there's Keith.
Keith said this show is like a damn pot of gumbo. You get a lot of good variety of stuff in one good ass pot. So glad you're back. And we're so glad you're back, Keith. I love his picture too. Look at his picture.
Yes.
Cute.
Yes.
It's a nice picture.
Amazing vocalist, Keith Anthony Fluid. Y'all don't know? Follow him. You know what? We need to have a follow me day or whatever, because there's so many good people and solid folks that follow and talk and create in our community called In the Basement that we all need to know. Because again, I'm concerned what comes down my timelines. If anybody's being crazy or whatever, I get rid of them. I don't want to see that. I want my feed to feel like it inspires me.
Yeah. So. Also, Tiffany is reminding us that today, the 7th, was the day Tupac got shot. However, he died on the 13th. It's another one. It's just some things you never really get over.
Yeah, miss you, Pac. So King.
Absolutely. So we're gonna be back on every Saturday from 11 to noon. 11 to 1. The show obviously looks a little bit different because before I had a lot of pop-ups popping up and this and that, and, the other. But my ass is getting old now, and Tammy too.
We'll have them.
Tammy too much has been put on timeout. Okay, Tammy too much timeout. Okay, I'm just trying to see what is going on. So yes, we'll still be on. Yes, we still have the radio station WJBR Internet, internet radio. So I don't know why, I got to figure it out. But on my computer, I was not able to go to the website. On my phone, I'm able to go to the website. The website should be up. There's really nothing new there, but got to see what's going on with that. Otherwise, the Facebook pages are still on. You got WJBR Internet Facebook page. You got in the basement with JaVonne and Terez Facebook page, or maybe it's just in the basement. I don't know.
Brunch in the basement.
Brunch in the basement. Thank you so much. And there is now a rapid fire page where our rapid fires are on Facebook on this page. I think I'm gonna turn that into rapid fire and thangs or jewels or something like that, because so many jewels are dropped on this show by all of the guests that we've had in the past, and things that we say, sometimes they make sense for everary. And so so like those pages, share them, join them, subscribe, check us out on Instagram. And thank you so much, Chike. That was so cool. Dang, man. When time permits, I want you to on Conversations with Chike Evans as Brunch in the Basement. Definitely, I'm down for that. And we want you here too. You know,
Mhm.
let's
Pretty boy Floyd.
let's do this back and forth thing. You know, let's take care of each other.
Yes,
I am with that 100%.
yes, yes.
Life is a highway, and highways go both ways.
And
Like
life
some
is
people I know.
abundant, abundant.
Like,
There's so much room for so many voices and so many points of view, you know. And yes, some are gonna be the same, and some are gonna be different, and that's what makes us the beautiful globe. You know, we're all global citizens, so we need to start acting like that. You know.
absolutely. And you know, when you see somebody with living a different lifestyle, if they're not hurting a child or an elderly person, but they're living a different lifestyle and they're doing things that you personally wouldn't do yourself, mind your own damn business. If somebody's in a parking spot that you wanted, go find another one. It's okay. It's okay. Or wait for them to move. It's okay. What are we doing? What are we doing? If someone has 34 convictions, don't put them in charge of your business, your child, or your country. Like, come on, man. Think about this. Let's think about this. He just admitted that he lost the election. So what are you fighting for? You all got riled up because you thought the election was stolen. He's telling you he lost.
Finally,
He's telling you he's lost. So what have you been fighting for all this time? Well, you've been mad. You've been mad. Come on.
Don't be mad, Twan.
For real. Grow up. And here's another thing. He didn't give you a stimmy. He didn't give you a stimmy. During the pandemic, it was a Democratic Congress. It was the Democrats. They had the majority in Congress, in the House of Representatives, who put forth that bill to give everyone a stimulus package or the little $1,200 check or whatever it was, or the big $1,200 check, whatever, however you want to think about it.
But bust it. It's called stimulus check, right? And what you think they're trying to stimulate?
The economy.
Right.
That was failing.
You're gonna turn around and give it right back to them.
Right. But it was, and the reason it was necessary is because he was screwing up the economy and the whole pandemic. That's something we're going to discuss next week.
Oh, okay. We're going to discuss how they're able to project Black people spending in the trillions of this company, this corporation called United States. We're going to talk about that.
We could talk about that amongst so many other things. So many other things.
I like that subject.
The reasons that people are choosing to vote for this man make no fucking sense in my mind.
Well, I'd like somebody to make it make sense, you know, and not with the rhetoric that you've heard, and you know, and not with the Amber Rose-esque, you know, he's not like that. You listen. I you know, and I'm careful because I spent time in Studio 54. You know, ain't nothing changed. Okay, this is still, and I can't wait till they get the exonerated 5, aka Central Park 5, to be able to speak. You know, because they had a whole lived life experience that is very, very valid and telling. So, you know, they just need to have all 5 of them there.
This is true. I've tried, and trust me, it's been a waste of time trying to understand Trump supporters.
Yeah, instead I've got better things to do with my little hour and 15 minutes.
And I'm glad we were able to inspire you today, Chike.
Yes.
You all have served to be an inspiration to me And we will check out your show. Everybody check out Chike's show. And with
Conversations with Chike Evans.
Conversations with Chike Evans.
And on Thursdays, I'm sorry, one last thing before we sign off, before JaVonne signs us off. Every Thursday, if you need a boost to get you through that last day, sign on to Twitch from 10 a.m. to 12 and get your house music life on with BPM. BPM, Beloved Presents Music. You won't be sorry. Everybody's in that room and dancing. It gets me through. One more day, it gets me through therapy, it gets me through a lot of things.
Another party, y'all.
Another party, y'all.
All right, peace. Everybody be kind to yourselves and make sure you check to ensure that you're registered to vote.
That's your homework.
On November 5th, make it happen. Let's make it do what it do.
What's up, y'all? This is Dawn Robinson, formerly of In Vogue and Lucy Pearl, and you're in the basement with JaVonne and Terez. My girls. I love y'all.
Hi, this is Mason. You're in the basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Perfect.
Hey, this is Leon. That's right, Leon, for some of your favorite movies, and I'm at Brunch in the basement with Terez and JaVonne. Stay here with me. Stay here with me. Stay here with me.
Still in the basement, no longer alone, with my homegirl Terez on the microphone. Music, politics, or just chatting it up. Brunch in the basement, see that's what's up. You never know who might run through. Legendary artist or someone brand new. You miss a lot when you miss one day. At least that's what I heard somebody say. But it doesn't really matter what whoever says. It's always a good show with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Brunch in the basement with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Let's see who we got today. Come on, everybody's a friend in my head. I already know everybody. Whatever it is, it's gonna be good. One day I'll tell you about me and Shaka Khan, but you know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But she doesn't know anything about it. But anyway. No, she doesn't. She wasn't even there actually. But anyway.
All our bosses though, Jay. She's got our ears and
I'm gonna send y'all some. I'll definitely get an address. I'll send y'all out.
You can send me some cologne, cause I mean, you know, yeah. Just in case I should meet Shaka Khan, I want to smell really, you know, nice.
Oh God.
Okie dokie, babe. Whatever you say.
The time, so
and we thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you. This part, that little piece, I'm just gonna keep and play it all the time for myself. But no, I'm just teasing.